What's up guys, it's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another poker vlog, and today we play at Chasers in New Hampshire and we end up running pretty hot at 2-5. But before we get into the action, you might recognize the background and the setup here. If you haven't, well, it's a shot from my personal vlogs, and I post a lot of stuff about personal finance, a lot of random stuff about what initiatives I'm going through, or I don't know, whatever's on my mind, and cool videos that I'm pretty passionate about. So if you want to check out those videos there, it'd be much appreciated after you watch this one, of course. But a lot of cool, interesting topics and videos that I'm making over there, so much appreciated if you go check it out. We put a lot of effort into them, so hopefully you enjoy this vlog and you enjoy the Ethan Yao personal vlog. So let's get into it, and I'm done talking and rambling. Here we are in the 2-5 with a $1,000 max buy-in. We hop in, first hand dealt in, pocket fives and +1. I opened this up to $20. Immediately the player to my left 3-bets to 60. Folds to me, and he's got me covered by a little bit, and I guess we're going to set mine here right off the bat. We defend and make the call, going to a flop. Flop is 4, 5, 6, 2 clubs, and this is a perfect flop for us, and there's actually merit to donk betting out here on this board texture that I don't think is going to hit his 3-betting range as often as my range. Anyways, I decided to check play and flow, and he checks it back. The turn is a 3 of clubs, so 4-liner here is just not amazing, but I think we can charge 1 club holdings, so I throw out a bet of $75, hoping he's got a club in him to get value, but sadly he folds, and we take down the first pot of the day. Next hand, 4-5 of diamonds in the small blind. We love the suited connectors. +1 opens to $25. Action folds to me, and we're out of position facing a pretty larger sizing pre-flop. I decide to call though still because, you know, we love playing these hands. We're going to a flop. Flop comes Jack 6-4 2 spades. Here I check. He bets out $30, and now onto me. I've got bottom pair, got a backdoor straight draw, and I think we're going to call and evaluate. Probably getting a little too sticky here, but we're going to call and see what happens. The turn is the 10 of spades. The spade draw does get there, and I decide to check. I pretty much have nothing here on this board, but when he checks it back, it's really nice to see that at least we have a chance of being good. The river is the 7 of diamonds, total brick for us on this board, unless someone has 8-9, but I don't even put that in his range, given that he did open to $25 pre-flop. So here, I've got showdown with bottom pair. I check. Now he throws out a bet of $70, and this time I feel like I can just snap fold this, and I reached for my cards and thought about snap folding, but can top pair holdings even bet here for value and for such a large sizing like this? I can see overpairs trying to go for max value, but how often is that player going to be checking back on the turn? Personally, I think I'd be firing all 3 streets and not checking turn if I did have an overpair, so I feel like I'm pretty much just hero calling against ace-king, ace-queen. So it's a little fishy, and after thinking things over for a while, I toss in the call. He rolls over pocket 3s, and we show our pair of 4s and take this one down. I'm trying to limit hero calls this year, but I'm at least happy that this one went our way. Next hand we go, we're on the button with king 9 off suits playing 5-handed. There's an ungun limper, and I've seen him limp pretty small pocket pairs, and I think we can exploit this tendency by raising fairly wider. So I raise up to $25, other players fold, ungun limper calls, let's go to a flop. The flop is 10-9-9 rainbow. He checks to us, and on this board, obviously sitting with trips is amazing, but I don't think his range connects here too often, so I'm going to check this back, assuming he's got a small pocket pair. The turn is a 10. Now, really not ideal when he checks to me. Doesn't seem like he's going to have 10x too often, and I don't think he's going to have too many holdings that can call a bet. Anyways, with a full house, I bet out small for $15 to target ace high, I guess, and he does make the call for 15. Let's see a river. The river is a 6, so not a whole lot going on here. He reaches for chips and actually bets out $80 first, and I'm never folding here, given how I've played this, really under-repped my hand. I snap this off, and this player has Jack 10 offsuit for a higher full house. He's going to take it down, and I guess we can say we lost the minimum given his second on the turn. Just didn't think Jack 10 was in that limping range. This hand, King 3 offsuit with the big blind special. There are 2 limpers to me, and I'm going to check this one because we have King 3 off. The flop, of course, comes King Queen 3 rainbow with top and bottom pair. I'm going to lead out $15 on this bink flop, and only the small blind makes the call. At least we've got action. The turn is a 9, and given it is a limped pot, not too concerned about anything besides Jack 10 getting there. And I don't think I can get 2 streets of value on this limped pot, so when he checks to me, I check it back, but in hindsight, actually, I would actually like a turn bet a whole lot better. Anyways, the river is a magical 3, another Bank City card for us. He checks, and now obviously with a full house, checking back would be criminal. I size up and bet out $50, hoping to get called by King X or Queen X, since the king kicker plays. He thinks for a little bit and ends up making the call. We show our hand, and our big blind special is going to take it down. I think if he calls this river bet, I definitely missed value on the turn here, but it is what it is. Next hand we go with Ace Jack offsuit on the big blind, and there's a under the gun straddle. The hijack opens to $25. Action folds to me, and here I debate between 3-betting or calling this. $25 open playing 2-5-10 is extremely small, but we're out of position and we don't need to blow up the size of the pots. I make the call, and the undergun player straddler calls as well. Let's go to a flop, which comes Ace Jack Jack 2 hearts. We are just flopping gin today, it seems like. I check, other player checks, and now the hijack throws out a bet of $25. Very easy to play this hand. We're going to slow play and hope draws get there. I make the call. Under the gun comes along as well. The turn is the 7 of hearts. It's really nice to see the heart draw get there, and now facing 2 players, hoping someone has a flush. I check. Under the gun player checks, and hijack player actually checks it back. Not what we want to see when that gin card gets there, but we'll see what happens on the river. The river is the deuce of hearts with 4 hearts on the board now. I've got to assume now, certainly someone has to have a flush or at least take a stab at this. So it's a very risky line to check twice with the nuts pretty much here, but I do check. The undergun snap checks it. We don't love that. Now we're on the hijack, and he does bail us out with a bet. It's unfortunately a small one though of $50. Regardless, we love that, reopening the action back onto me to hopefully raise and get some value. Now time to figure out a sizing. We opt for $300 here, thinking that this sizing will easily get the King of Hearts or Queen of Hearts to call. And surprisingly, when we put out this raise, the under the gun player tanks for about 1.5 minutes. And at this point, the hijack player looks very uninterested in the pot in hand. So now we need this under the gun player who's tanking to make the call to get paid. Ultimately, after thinking for a while, his hand reaches for chips, puts in the call, hijack player snap folds, and we show our boat and take it down. The undergun player that we're friendly with tells us that he had Queen 10 of hearts for a turned flush. So happy to get paid. Probably could have built a bigger pot if we were to donk lead the turn there, but always happy to take down a pretty sizable pot. Already running hot so far in the 2-5 game. We've got ace 6 of clubs on the big blind. There's an early position open to 20. Small blind makes the call. We've got a suited ace, although it is the worst ace to ever have. I make the call as well. The flop comes ace 8-5 rainbow with 1 club. Action checks to the early position player, and he c-bets $20. Small blind folds, and I'm obviously not going anywhere with top pair. Very suspect kicker, but we do have backdoor outs. We call and see a turn. The turn is the deuce of spades. It's the biggest brick on the board and not great, so I just check. He now fires another barrel for $50. Given his image so far at the table, it seems like he's fairly tight, and I never see him double barreling for value here unless he's got an ace that's obviously a much better kicker than ours. So after thinking things over, I actually make the tight fold, as it seems like this player tendency is going to play fairly straightforward, and our kicker is just awful, so we let this one go surprisingly. After what some would call a nitty fold, we pick up 8s on the button. There's one player who limps, and I'm going to standardly raise this up to 5x to $25. Limper makes the call. The flop comes 8, 4, 5, 2 diamonds, top sets on the wettest board imaginable. It's a beautiful sight to see, and when he checks to us on a board that absolutely crushes his limping range, I am going to size up to $30, expecting to see some action his way, but unfortunately he does not have anything that connects. He folds. All right, we've been crushing flops so far. Can we crush this one with Queen 10 offsuit on the big blind? The cutoff opens up the action to $15. The button calls, small blind calls, and surely for us, with only $10 more, we make the call. The flop comes ace, king, jack. I'm not even making this up. How the hell does this keep happening? Action checks around though extremely quickly, unfortunately, so it looks like no one has anything on this board, sadly. The turn is the 5 of hearts, and it's very inconsequential. Though it seems like no one has anything, we still have to bet for value, so I just lead out and bet $40, hoping someone can be sticky with some sort of one pair holding, but sadly, everyone folds. Although we are flopping the nuts and flopping gin, we didn't make too much from the last 2 hands.
Come on!
All right, wrapping up this session in the car here, it was pretty short, unfortunately. Our game broke, and we only played for 2 hours, so our 2-5 game broke, and I didn't really want to wait on a list to get onto the other 2-5 games. So overall, ran super hot in those 2 hours. We flopped 2 sets, flopped a boat and Broadway. Didn't really get paid too much on them, but still, always nice to run really well in these 2 hours. So we were only in the game for 1,000, no add-on, and we were out for 15.05. So my records, pretty good day for only 2 hours, making a couple $100. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you made it this far to the end. It's always much appreciated. Really helps the channel grow, helps get these videos to more people, and also just, you know, really appreciate the like. Anyways, see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching, and hope you guys all run well. Peace.